Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to the second session of the final day of National University Week. And quite honestly, what a week it's been. And it's still going strong. I mean, look at you, over 500 people in this room right now. That is insane. This afternoon, I'm joined by Kayleigh Drake. She's Student Recruitment Officer at the University of Suffolk. So Kayleigh's going to be talking about what it's like to be a student at university, covering really everything from teaching, student life, living, and also weaving in some information and experiences about the Suffolk experience too. So as I think some of you have already seen, Charlotte Porfin, hello. There's the chat box. Amelia, hello. Ask any questions that you've got in the chat box on the right hand side of your screen. And when Kayleigh's finished her presentation, we'll do our best to fit as many questions in at the end of the session in a Q&A. The session is being recorded, so it will be emailed to you, but they're already actually going online on the on-demand section of the National University Week website. So you can find them on there as well. Hello, Kyle, Finley, Shannon. Right then, enough of my hellos. Lovely to see you, but it's my opportunity now to kind of dip away, hand over to Kayleigh, and I'll see you for the Q&A.
I'm over. Hello. I'm in. Hello, everybody. So thank you so much for joining us today. So like Heather said, just ask any questions in the chat and hopefully we'll get to them. So I'm just going to start with a little bit about me, just so you kind of know who I am, why I'm doing this. So as Heather mentioned, my name is Kayleigh Drake. I am a Student Recruitment Officer here at the University of Suffolk. I have been in post since March this year, so not a great deal of time. But basically my role is to go out to undergraduates and let them know just what we do and to see if university is an option for them. I look after some local areas, but I do also go across the whole of the UK, attending lots of different events. So I actually did study at the University of Suffolk from 2013 to 2016. So that picture in the left-hand corner is a picture of me and my uni friends. I graduated with a BA Honours in Event Management. The main reason that I attended the University of Suffolk was, one main reason was the location. So the University of Suffolk is about an hour away from my family home. That meant that I could move out and gain some independence, but also was close enough to go home so I could take my washing on a weekend. And then the other reason was the size. The University of Suffolk is a smaller university, but that was something that I was looking for, and I will explain a bit about I'll explain a bit more about that later. From there, I went and worked for Suffolk Chamber of Commerce as an events coordinator. I was there for about 4 years. So I was there for about 4 years, working my way up in the events team. I then left there to be an events coordinator for a local charity. However, COVID then hit, so I got made redundant in August 2020. From there, I worked in a local supermarket due to the pandemic and the fact I was heavily pregnant. So I worked there for about a year and a half, and then that kind of leads me to where I am today. So the pictures, as mentioned, the top left is me and my uni friends. The next one across is me handling my dissertation, me graduating, and me with the team now. So that's kind of me. So about the University of Suffolk. So our location. So we are based in the east of England. So we are an hour direct train from London, Liverpool Street. Our campus university is also about an hour away from Norwich and Cambridge. And also we're just half an hour from most of Suffolk coast, also just 15 minutes away from your local beach. So you can see we're quite a good location, lots of transport links to get to other places too, which is always quite nice. So we are based on Ipswich Waterfront. So that's our building just there. The waterfront is a peaceful place, but also surrounded by buzzing cafes, restaurants, nightlife. Our academic buildings are all within a 10-minute walk of each other, so it is all quite close, and which is also very handy. We have lots of modern and state-of-the-art facilities, such as our clinical suites, which are for like our NHS students. We are also currently developing a brand new health suite, which will have things like our physiotherapy in, all our nursing and stuff like that. So they'll get some real state-of-the-art technology when that finally opens, hopefully in September. We also have the town centre, just 10 minutes walk, where you can find more shops, more nightlife, places to eat and drink and that kind of thing. There's also many parks around us as well, which is quite nice for a bit of greenery as well. So our university campus building is accessible 24/7, so it gives our students a place to study whenever they need. We also have a student services point within that building, so that offers things from wellbeing, finance support and everything like that, as well as lots of little cafes within the university, so lots of places to eat and drink as well. One of our newest developments is our Digitech Centre. So this is actually a little bit further away from us. It's just about a 10-minute drive, but it's actually it's for our computing students, and it's linked with BT's head office. So instead of me trying to explain all about it, there's just a little video that we're going to watch. So, actually, I think I've missed 2 videos. I think, Heather, do you want to play the first 3 videos? So the first 2 videos are kind of a bit about Suffolk, and then the last one will be about Digitech, so we can just play the first 3.
That's fine. I'll press them now. Just for us both, Kayleigh, we'll just turn our mics off so it doesn't kind of bounce around.
Yeah.
Welcome to the University of Suffolk. Our stunning Ipswich campus is home to a cohort of students on a journey that will inspire change. We're a modern university that absorbs the best traditions in higher education, alongside state-of-the-art facilities and teaching that will prepare you for a modern world of work. A smaller student body than many traditional universities, and a community where you feel like a name, not a number. Our on-campus student accommodation is home to about 500 students, and you're just 300 metres from our main waterfront building, so you're never far from where you need to be. Within a few minutes walk of campus, you will find a vibe with the county's development of high-tech industries, and connections to London and Cambridge has made Suffolk one of the most desirable places to live and work in the UK. We are always looking to the future, but we understand it's equally important to live in the now. At campus-located Cult Cafe, our friendly and relaxed social environment will allow you to make the most of your time.
At the University of Suffolk, it's not just about your degree.
I already feel that it's home.
Ipswich as a town is absolutely incredible. Right next door to London, about 3 steps from Stansted, and Suffolk as a county, absolutely gorgeous.
I think probably one of the best things about it is that it's on the waterfront, it's got a really nice view, it's a very social uni.
There's lots of things to do where you've got different bars, clubs, you've got different societies you can be part of.
There are a lot of events that the university organises for you. There's a lot of sport.
It's a very warm atmosphere. I like the people here, I like the support.
It's a lot of fun with the growing number of students and the relatively young town as well.
So, what are you waiting for?
The Digitech Centre is a £9.6 million investment in the future. Digitech Centre is located at Astral Park, the home of BT's Research and Development Centres. The Digitech Centre has a wide range of top-of-the-range facilities. This includes a Dell AI compute server capable of solving terabyte-scale big data problems. We have a cyber range where our students can learn how to attack and defend software, hardware and networks. We have a digital forensics lab where our students use industry standard tools to investigate cybercrime, just like the professionals do. Our Juniper networking sandpit gives our students the opportunity to learn how to configure and manage enterprise-grade hardware, the same hardware used in the data centres of BT and Openreach. We have top-notch computing suites where our students learn how to develop software, websites, mobile phone apps, and also how to code securely and effectively.
Digitech, or having a big cybersecurity range, is great.
You know, one of the most powerful computers I've ever used in my life. I just think that's really cool.
Computing is transforming every career in the world. With the Digitech Centre, our students will have the ability to be part of that change. Whether it is defending against the latest cyber attack, developing brand new websites and mobile apps, or using the latest AI techniques to solve big data problems, our students will graduate with the capability to make a difference.
Yeah, so that just gives you a bit of an idea about Suffolk, as well as our Digitech Centre that I mentioned. Next slide. So here at the University of Suffolk, you are a name, not a number. We're a young university, so what that means is we are slightly smaller, so it allows us to offer personalised teaching and lots of smaller group learning, as well as like one-to-ones. Our lecturers have lots of time for one-for-ones. Our cohorts do tend to be a bit smaller, but it just means that you get great support. And you also, I am pretty much in contact with most of the people on my course, so it really did give me friends for life as well, which is quite nice. Our courses and lecturers have been ranked 10th in the country in the 2019 What Student Survey. So that's actually done from our students. So it kind of shows you what they think of us too, which is really good. And we really want to work with our students and ensure they enjoy their journey. So we're also very future focused. It's really, really important to us that you actually come out of university with your degree and that you're able to get work after. So 90% of our graduates actually are in work within the next 6 months, which is amazing. You also have 24-hour support to Future Me, which is an online career platform, which can help you as well decide kind of like where you want to go. A lot of our courses offer complementary placements. This is a really good way to build up your CV. So you've not just got the academic side, you've really got the hands-on experience. You also have a dedicated career and employability team. They're there to help from a range of things, from helping you with your CV, finding you part-time jobs, helping you prepare for an interview. They also run careers days for you, so they can help you with a range of things, but they're there to help whatever you need. So I've just got a little interactive game. So it's just to spot the fake course. So if you just want to put in the chat which ones out of these you think may not, it's not just what we do at the University of Suffolk. These could be courses that we might not run, but could run in other universities. So I'll just give you a few minutes to write maybe one that you think isn't real. Okay, I'm just going to move on to the next one. So the ones in black are indeed the ones that aren't real. So unfortunately, you can't study a Harry Potter study, unfortunately. So a bit about our school. So our university is split into 4 schools. So that's engineering, arts and science and technology, health and sports science, social science and humanities, and Suffolk Business School. And then here is the list of all our courses. I don't expect you to read it all now, but as it's being sent around, I thought I'd just include that so you've got kind of an idea of the range that we do. So that's kind of about Suffolk. We'll move on now to a bit more about student life in particular. So at university, the way you study is very different to school and colleges. At university, you are really treated like an adult and it's your responsibility to learn. Your student life can be varied on how you learn. One of the biggest ways is probably attending lectures, which are also known as academic talks. These are delivered by lecturers and is usually a large group of people, like of students, that you all sit in one big room kind of thing. They also may have people that are experts in the field come into these talks as well, just to give some added information and experience. Another way in which you may learn is seminars or workshops. These are often smaller groups of people that will give you the opportunity to be part of a discussion, debates, ask questions as well as being like work as a team and group projects. You also will be asked to complete self-study around your lectures and seminars. This is really important to gain more insight and information into the area you're studying. You don't have that many hours at university for some courses, so you need to get that extra study to ensure that you can complete all your work. It's also universities want their students to succeed, and getting that skill of how to self-study is really good and can help you through the rest of it will help you through your university years, as well as if you want to go and do further education, as well as help you gain skills that you may need for work. So during my time at university, I'd had some seminars, lectures, but I also had lots of practical work, which was running events. So I ran things from open mic events, charity events, exhibitor style events. So you will also get that practical side of it. So for example, if you're a film student, a lot of your work may be creating short films and stuff like that. So it does depend on what you're studying as well. The aim is really just to make sure you're employable for once you've finished your course. You just want to learn as much as you can in many different ways. So it's not just all kind of like sitting in a lecture theatre. So a lot of your courses can involve work placements and experiences. So an example of this is like student nursing or paramedic science, and these will actually take up around 50% of their course will be the work experience. This is really so they can get the practical experience and knowledge to be able to go into the job after graduating. It's also great that you can build up your portfolio and your work experience to add to your CV. Because this is something that employers may look at just to see kind of what you've done and what you've learned in the classroom, you've used that in work. So you can also do placement years and sandwich years with some courses at some universities. So for us, our business management students and tourism students can go and study abroad if they'd like for 6 months or a year. This again just gives them more experience if they want to, working in a different environment and that kind of thing. Again, my experience at university, so I had to do 90-hour work placements in my 2nd and 3rd year. I use this to really get an understanding of what I didn't want to do when I graduated from university. So I went and worked for Suffolk Chamber of Commerce, who I had my first job with, so I built up the relationship there. But I also went and worked with a wedding events company, a lawyer. They done events. So it kind of showed me that the main outcome for me was I didn't want to be a wedding planner. I didn't enjoy that. But that then work hours I had to do gave me that knowledge to know I've tried that, but actually that's not for me. So it's a great way to do that. You can also get some really unique experiences being a student at university. So you can have lots of trips abroad. So an example for us is our photography students get the opportunity to go to New York. Also, when I was at university, I went to Spain. We went to Spain to look at how you'd putting events on in different countries and what barriers you may come across and things like that. So there's lots of different opportunities within your courses that, as a student, it's a great way to just grab hold of and just so you get to experience everything you can. You could also, another experience you could look into would be becoming a student ambassador. So these are they flexible work opportunities that can fit around your studies, and you can do anything from I use a lot of ambassadors in my job now to help me with events, or they can do tours around the university for us and stuff like that. So they get given a range of different activities they can do, and they get paid for their time. So it's a really good way of earning extra cash, but also building up your CV for what your experiences you've done too. So that's quite cool. So a lot of people think that university is all about exams. However, for most courses, this isn't really true. There's a lot of different ways you could be assessed at university, whether it's from essays, group presentations, posters, and all things like that. And when you're actually applying for your course, a lot of the universities do show how you will be assessed on their website. So it's something to look at. When I studied at university, I actually only did one exam, and that was actually multiple choice as well. So that wasn't too bad. The rest of it was just, I've done 3 to 6 essays a year, 3 group presentations a year, a poster, and then just my final year dissertation. So actually, it wasn't all essay. If you are studying something like fine art, for example, one of your assessments may be an exhibition where you put all your work up and stuff like that. So again, it does depend on what course you wanted to study to how you would be assessed. But I wouldn't worry too much about it being exam heavy, because some courses aren't. So that's really good to know. So support. At university, a lot of people worry about what support would be available and stuff like that. And here at the University of Suffolk, we really do pride ourselves on our support services, and the fact that they're not just academic support. You do have your personal tutors and some academic support advisors, so they can help you from anything regarding your studies. The academic support advisors can also help you with things like proofreading, referencing, planning assessments, and anything like that. They can also help if you feel like you're struggling. And so an example of this is when I started at university, I started to struggle, and I went to them and said, I couldn't do it. And they actually looked into my work and noticed I actually have dyslexia. So this is then something they got diagnosed for me, which then meant I got lots of extra support from, not just from the university in regards to extra time in my assignments and things like that, but also extra help from the government. They paid for a laptop and a printer for me. So it meant that I could print all my work off, and so I could read it on a bit of paper instead of on a screen, because I find that easier. So there's just lots and lots of support out there that's accessible to students. In regard to support that's not just academics, you also have a wellbeing service. This is accessible to all students at all times. You can go if you've got any concerns about your wellbeing. They'll be able to signpost you to things that could help, and really they can help. There also is the career support team, which I mentioned about earlier. These are there not just for your time at university. As an alumni, you can access them too. They can help you from like CV writing, finding jobs and that kind of thing, as I mentioned earlier. So social life. This is obviously a massive part of university, and it is really an opportunity to have fun. It's also an important part of getting some independence. So going to university is a lot of people's first time moving away from home. So you can really meet people from all over the world that have come to your university. It also gives you an opportunity to gain and try new sports, and if you've got different interests. So the SU at the universities will run a lot of these sports and events. such as like Freshers Week, summer balls, bar crawls, kind of thing. That's what we do. So some of the examples we had at our Freshers Week are we have a Freshers Fair where local companies come together so they can kind of show you what's around, what's accessible to you, as well as things like go-karting, foam parties, quiz nights, comedy nights. So a real range of different things. Societies are something all universities have, and they're there for you to join with your interests. So we have many societies, from dance to LGBTQ+, from Christian Union to music to game, board game, so many different things. Also with our university, if you looked and thought, actually, I really wanted to go to a society in, say, Zumba, for example, but there wasn't one, you just have to find 2 other people that were interested in it. Then you could go to the SU and they'd be able to put it on for you, and you'd be able to create that society yourself. So because we're a bit smaller university, you really do have that freedom to kind of change the university and adapt the university to the way you like. The SU is also there to give the students a voice. This is a place that they kind of work really closely with the students to feed back to the university about what they like. So another example of this would be at the University of Suffolk. A few years ago, students said that there was nowhere really just for students. So we've created a designated student area that's got a pool table, a ping pong table, a little kitchenette that you can like warm your food up and stuff like that. Lots of plug sockets so you can charge your phone. Lots of comfy sofas. So that's there for students. So the SU's there to listen to what they want. Another thing about social life is graduation. A lot of people like to go to university to wear the hat and cape. I know that's a few of my friends said that was the reason they were going. And that's obviously a massive part of university too, and the social life behind it. Normally have a big ball, like a graduation ceremony for that. So that's really good. We are now going to watch another 3 videos. There's one about just the events that have run through the university, one about our summer ball, and one about our graduation. You may notice that the years are they're a few years ago, but due to COVID, we just haven't had anything that relevant. But Heather, if we could just play them videos now.
Yeah, sure, I'll do it now. Just pop your microphone off.
feel comfortable.
It gives me great pleasure to declare this congregation open.
Completing our degrees here has not only been a journey of learning, of knowledge and exploration, but also a discovery of ourselves.
Perfect. So that just gives you an idea about some of the events from our summer ball that we run every year. The theme and everything kind of changes, the graduation and some of the other events. So moving on, a lot of people when considering uni have to consider do they move closer or commute. We have quite a split of students that do commute and some that do move closer, so it's really varied. But this is something that you need to decide with your family and your parents kind of thing to see what's actually best for you. They both have positives and negatives for both. Living in halls does mean you normally share with a group of people. This can be worrying. However, it's a great opportunity to learn new skills and challenge yourself. We have lots of communal areas within our accommodation. So this gives you a great opportunity to meet people. Our biggest accommodation is Athena Hall, which I will explain a bit more about in a moment. I actually lived in Athena Hall for 2 years and then I moved out with 2 friends for the last year. So you really do have the flexibility, as well as with our on-site accommodation, which is Athena Hall. You could stay there for the whole 3 years if you wish. You don't actually have to move out after the first, where some universities will guarantee your accommodation for the first year and then you have to move out after that. So that's something to worth knowing, and when you're looking at universities to be aware of. As I mentioned, Athena Hall, so here's just some pictures of them. So we have bronze, silver, gold or studio rooms. So these just mean what is different about the bronze, silver and gold is just your floor space you get. Each room comes with a queen-size bed with under bed storage, as well as a desk that you can see in that photo just there, a wardrobe as well, and you also get the all en suite, so there's no shared bathroom, which is nice too. You just share a kitchen, which is the other photo. Again, as you can see, there's a big fridge freezer, so you all get a shelf in them, as well as you get your own drawer, top cupboard and bottom cupboard. So there's lots of space. You share with either 3, 5 or 7 people. No, so it's flats of 4 to 6 basically, and that's what I was trying to figure out. But yeah, so they're not too big. As well as also there's always staff on site. So during the day, you will have the accommodation staff, and then overnight you have security. So there's always somebody there, so you know you're quite safe there, and which is also quite nice. So a massive part of student life is budgeting. So I thought I'd just share some of our tips for you. So we do really recommend students open a student bank account. These normally have lots of different benefits, including a interest-free overdraft. An overdraft, I don't know if you all know what an overdraft is, but it's when you run out of money and you go into that. But often it comes with really, really high interest. So it's really important to look at that. We really recommend avoiding using credit cards. Where you can, you really don't want to try and get into debt. And again, this is something that the university offer finance support to our students. So if you are struggling, you can come to us and we can try and help and see what we can do. It's also important to estimate your expenses and budget. And with your student finance, you'll get that in three times throughout the year. You will know in advance how much you're going to get, so you know, and you also know how much your accommodation fees are going to be, for example. You then know how much you have left, and then kind of you can divide it through there and budget for your months to come accordingly. It's also a good idea to look for student discounts. A lot of places do student discounts, shops, restaurants, gyms, that kind of thing, and just use that as much as you can because it's there to be used. Also, to buy in bulk, you probably don't realise sometimes that something is really a lot cheaper to buy in bulk. So it's just look at like buying a big bag of pasta instead of lots of little bags, just because you know over time you are going to use it, but it'll be more expensive in the first instance, but over time you'll save a lot of money. Also, to learn to cook, a lot of students go to university not knowing how to cook and think, oh, it's fine, I'll just get takeaways, restaurants, that kind of thing. That is going to cost you a lot of money. So it's worth learning to cook, even if it's just really basic meals, but that will help you get through. As well as cook as a group, this again is a really good way of saving money. And also look for part-time jobs. So when I went to university, I got a part-time job. I worked at Paper Chase on Saturdays and Sundays. That just gave me that extra bit of income every month that I could kind of use, that I knew that was extra, so I could just spend it on however I wanted, giving me a bit more flexibility and freedom. So it's kind of now onto like our top tips. So I would really recommend start thinking ahead. It's never too early to plan where you want to go to university, kind of look at all the universities. Do your research about the universities. UCAS.com is a fantastic place to start. That will really give you all the universities and courses. You can also shortlist on there based on factors that are important to you. So that's a fantastic place to start. Also, then try and visit as many. So I would then kind of narrow it down to a few that you think you may be of interest to. Then try and visit as many as you can. I do think as soon as you go to a university, you will know if you can see yourself being there for the next 3 years, and that's really important. You also get the opportunity to meet your academics and your lecturers and see if, I can see myself studying with them, as well as the ambassadors. You do get to meet the ambassadors then, and they can give you an idea of why they chose to study there, because I think that's quite important too. When you are going to visit universities, try and make a list of things you want to find out. So if it's things like the accommodation, what extra support is there, just little things like that. Because sometimes when you go to a place, you can get a bit confused, and then you're like, oh, I don't know. So yeah, just have your list, and so you kind of know what you want to find out is really good as well. If you're unable to attend like open days or subject talks, really get in contact with the university. Part of my job role is I sometimes plan one-to-one tours and visits. So you can come and see us whenever you like. And I'm sure all the other universities do that if you can't make the open days too. And then, from there, just ask as many questions as you can and try and get a real feel for what the university is going to be like. It's probably one of the best places to start. So that's kind of my presentation, and it's kind of now open to the questions.
I'm trying to turn my camera on. Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. Right then, we have a lot of questions actually.
Okay.
So we've got about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So let's crack on. Kyle says, what type of study abroad options do you have?
So they do vary depending on what course you do, and they change every single year. So, for example, one of the business students have recently gone abroad, and I can't remember the name of the company they're working for, but it's quite a big global company, and I cannot think of the name. But they've got the opportunity to go and work there for 6 months. So we do have a team that is kind of there to, if you say, I want to go and study abroad, they can show you where you can go, depending on your course and depending on the contacts we have. And then they can kind of arrange that for you. But that's something that we kind of do on an individual basis, depending on what the student wants.
Okay, brilliant. Holly said, how many people are typically in one class?
So it does vary. So something like architecture, for example, that only tends to have around 15 to 20, whereas our NHS courses like midwifery, adult nursing, and stuff like that, they're our most popular. They would have maximum 60, but that is the very maximum. When I studied my event degree, we had 25 in ours.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Finley says, I'm thinking of studying conservation science and animal management at your uni. Would I need to apply by October or January?
October. Well, yeah, so I'd try and apply by October if possible. The earliest you can apply, the better, before the deadline, but yeah, it'd be October, I believe.
So that would fall within that kind of medicine, dentistry, veterinary deadline of October.
Yeah, because so with some of our courses, they do only have limited spaces. So once they're full, they'll close the application. So it is worth, with any course, just trying to get in as soon as you can if you know that's what you wanted to do.
Okay, wonderful. Nate said, does Suffolk specialise in IT and technology?
So we don't specialise in. Digitech is something that we're developing. So that's for our computing courses. It is something, because we are so lucky to have that connection with BT, that we are really developing, and we're getting all the latest technology. We actually went up there not yesterday, the day before, to the centre so we could have a look as staff, and they had things like these robots running around that I'd never seen before, and all the stuff about how to hack people, and it was mind blowing for me because I don't really understand any of that. So we don't specialise in it. However, it's something that we're really developing with that link with BT. So it's really fantastic, and that's all accessible to our computing students. So it's amazing that they have that all. They can go whenever they want. They have a pass for the BT campus that's 20. They can go whenever. It's not just when their lectures are. So that's really cool too.
Well, there was actually a question about the BT connection and whether students had the opportunity to go and spend time there. So it sounds like the answer is yes for the tech students.
Yeah, so the computing students, you have your standard university pass, and then you have a second one that's for that site. And because it's their headquarters, obviously the security is very hot. So you just have this pass that you can go to, and you can go whenever you want. You also have access to, they've got an innovation hub there where I think it's around 100, maybe even more, other businesses actually work there. So you have the opportunity to meet them as well. So it's really good for the computing students to build their connections for later. We have a few students that have gone on to work for the companies on site. So that's really good too.
Wonderful. Elias said, are there any gyms on campus and a swimming pool?
So there's not actually any on campus. The closest gym is literally like a 5-minute walk down the waterfront, and with the swimming pool, again, that's about a 3-minute walk. The SU offer things like you can go swimming for cheaper. You just go and buy like a little coupon from them, and the same with they work with some of the gyms as well, so you can get extra gym discounts. So although there's not any actually on campus, they're all very, very close, and the SU works so closely with them, so you can get better discounts as well.
Wonderful, thank you. Holly said, where does Suffolk rank on the tables?
So I'm not 100% sure in total of everything at the moment. I know because we only were established in 2016. So in 2016 we rebranded and became the University of Suffolk. What that tends to mean is we are a bit lower down on the university ranking, but that's just because we are re-establishing ourselves and working our way up. I did get some. Let me just have a look. My colleague did send me some little. So in history, we're currently ranked 4th for our history course. In English, 8th, 10 in our social sciences, and then 20. Oh, we're top 20 in our social sciences. Sorry. So as you can see, like our individual courses are ranked quite highly. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure overall, I'm afraid.
Okay, no, that's great. Thank you. Nate said, what is the Suffolk nightlife like? Did you go into London often?
So I went into London a few times, but I also went to places like Norwich, Colchester and stuff like that. So because obviously London was the hour, I kind of used the other local ones. So like, I say Essex and Norfolk. But Ipswich nightlife is really good. I had many nights out. Thursday is student night. So cheap drinks, that's what that means. And they still have that to this day. And they mentioned Cult Bar in one of the videos. So that's literally under one of our academic buildings. It's underneath there, and they have loads of different things like quizzes, like comedy nights and stuff like that throughout the year. And then there's many different events that happen in the nightlife within Ipswich. So yeah, it's a good. It depends where you've come from to depend on how. Obviously, if you've come from a big city, it's not a big city, so it's not that kind of nightlife. But there is a nightlife, and you do get some good night outs there.
Brilliant, thank you. Charlotte asked a question to you as well. How stressful did you find uni?
So university for me was stressful to start with. Until I got my diagnosis of dyslexia, I did find it really hard because I was struggling academically. But as soon as I got that, and because I kind of took that step forward of actually there is support there, I should access it. Once I did that, it was so much easier because I knew that the university want you to succeed. They want you to graduate. So they will do whatever they can to help you. I also, after the first year, that first year is just about growing up if you move away, and you definitely do. So like after the first year, it was really fun. And to be honest, it was one of the best things I did personally. So when I went to uni, I met my now husband, and now I live there. So it kind of can set you up for the rest of your life as well.
That's a good answer, thank you. Just a quick one. Paul said, is Suffolk a campus university?
Yes, so we are classed as a campus. We're a spread out campus, but we're all within, like, apart from Digitech, it's all within like a 5-10 minute walk of each other.
Okay, brilliant. And Fern said, what made you pick Suffolk?
So it was due to the size and the fact that it was smaller. I didn't do particularly well at GCSE and A level, partly due to my dyslexia and it not being diagnosed. And I wanted to go to university because I wanted to experience university. I wanted to get that qualification. I'm the first in my family to ever go to university as well. So I didn't ever think university was accessible to me. So when I decided to go, it was a massive change for my whole family. So going to Suffolk felt safe because I was not that far away. I was an hour away, so I was still close enough that I knew if I needed my family, they could be there. But it was just the size, it's smaller. So it just felt like a family. Like I knew if I went to any of my lecturers with any problems, not just even though they're there for academic support, they'd support me no matter what. So that was my main reason.
Okay, brilliant. Shannon says, do you need work experience before going to uni?
No, not really. It's kind of good. I've got some work experience before I went, but just kind of to know, yeah, this is definitely something I wanted to do. Some courses may look for it more. So we don't do dentistry or veterinary, but I know some universities that will ask for work experience. So it kind of depends on what course you want to do, what university you want to go to, and then looking at that and then seeing if they would like you to.
Brilliant, thank you. Aisha said, how much independent learning do you need to do at uni?
So there's obviously it's hard to say in numbers kind of thing, but so for example, when I was there, I had Monday, Tuesday and Thursday, I think it was in my last year, of 2 lectures a day, and then the rest of it was kind of open to self-study. It is down to you how much or how little you study. You'll get set tasks, so from one lecture to another, kind of like homework, but they're not going to check up on you if you haven't done it. If you haven't done it, you just won't know the information for your next lecture. So it is down to you, and then you'll be given your assignments at the beginning of your term, and then you've got that term to finish them. So the more you self-study at the beginning, the quicker you'll have them done. So it kind of does vary.
Okay, brilliant. Paul said, do you monitor attendance at uni?
Yep, so they do monitor it. You sign in with a swipe card as you go into the room. The university isn't going to be calling you up and saying, like, where are you? Why aren't you here? But ultimately, if you do drop off just so much, they will get in contact and ask what's happening. Is everything all right? And if needs be, you might have to defer a year if they don't think you're going to be able to complete the deadlines and things like that. But it's not kind of like a school where they'll call your mum and like shout on the phone. It is like they'll just say, maybe this isn't for you, and look at, if you're not going, why aren't you going? Do you want to be at university? That kind of thing.
Okay, great. Natasha said, and I'm actually sure that a lot of people wonder this, what's the difference between a lecture and a seminar?
So a lecture is more, you're sat in quite a big room with a group of people. There's not that much opportunity to kind of like ask questions. You're kind of being spoken to and they're teaching you this subject. With a seminar, it's a bit more relaxed and a bit more interactive with you. It tends to sometimes be smaller groups in our case. So our seminars are a lot smaller, more in like classrooms, not in like a lecture theatre. It's more like in a classroom environment that gets the opportunity to like do some group works and stuff like that.
Okay, great. Right then, if I study abroad for a year, do I still need to pay uni fees?
No. So it will be a gap year. It would all be done with like the finance team and stuff like that. No, it wouldn't add an extra year onto it would obviously add an extra year onto your course, but it'd just be a break and then you'd carry on.
Okay, great. Charlotte asks, are there any full coursework degrees?
What do you mean by full? No, I don't.
No exams.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think we offer any, but obviously every university is slightly different. But like I said, the majority of mine was assessments. It was just that one multiple choice exam. And a lot of people are looking at different ways of doing it just because it's important that everybody does. Some people can't perform very well in exams under the pressure. So your assignments give you the opportunity to build up your score. So I don't believe so, but it's something that's worth checking at every university.
Okay, great. A couple of questions around Freshers Week. When does it start and how long is it?
So every university will be different. Ours starts the week before our students start in September, so it tends to be the second or third week of September, and then you tend to start lectures the following week. It is a week or 10 days depending on how they plan it. They do often like to do the 10 days if they can, but yeah, the dates obviously change every year just depending on the term dates, and that will be with every university. They'll differ.
Okay, great. Sebastian said, is there a fee to join the student union?
No, so there's not a fee to join the student union. Some societies may ask for a small fee to join, but that will just cover costs for any social events that you put on throughout the year. With the SU and the sports side of it, there is a membership that you can get, which will cover all of your, if you want to go and try any different sports, if you want to go to like Zumba every week, it isn't like you don't pay like a class fee every time, you pay a membership for the term. With that as well, there's two different types you can join. So we have competitive or social. So social is just if you wanted to go and play football just with the people at the university just for a bit of fun because you like it. But actually, if you think, actually, I'm really good at football, you could do the competitive membership and you could go and actually represent Suffolk against all the other universities. So there is that two different options there.
Okay, that's good to know. Are events back to normal after COVID? This was asked when we were playing the video of all of the nightlife.
Okay, yes. So this is like the first year that they are coming back, slowly but surely. And I would say we are probably like 95% completely back. We are now doing a lot more online. We have some international students as well, and people that don't live on campus. So although we are doing lots and lots more events in person, there is still that opportunity to do a few virtual ones just because actually during lockdown we've explored it a lot more, and actually it can be beneficial to maybe if you've got a family and you can't actually come to campus every time you want to go to an event, there is the opportunity to have some online too.
Great stuff. And just the final question of the session, let's have a look who asked for it. Holly says, do you have a checklist for things to bring to uni?
So some universities will offer that, and we kind of can do something like that for you. If you go into like a halls of residence, I remember when I moved to a halls of residence, they kind of gave you a what to bring, what not to bring. So an example of that is don't bring a kettle, because if every single person in your flat brought a kettle, you'd end up with 6 kettles. So it's better sometimes to wait until you've moved in and then kind of get the additional things like kettles, bins, stuff like that you could quite easily share. So it kind of depends what you, in terms of like if you're moving to campus, the accommodation will sort that. Regarding like things to bring for actual like university and lectures, you will get like a checklist of like a reading list of things that they'd like you to read. My advice is don't go out and buy all the books, because that would cost you a lot of money. Kind of all the books are normally available either at the library or online for the universities, and start off by just looking at them. But then if you think, oh, actually that book might be beneficial, then you could go out and buy it. And then regards to like normal things you want to bring, your lecturers, if when you start, would be more than happy to kind of help you with that and say like, okay, you don't need this, you need this. But it kind of change for like I say, if you're moving closer or what kind of thing you're doing.
Brilliant, thank you very much. And on that note, I think it's the opportunity to kind of wrap up the session and thank everybody who's joined and asked so many questions. A lot of people like to say my name by it would seem. But yeah, thank you everybody for attending and for asking questions. Kayleigh, thank you for drawing on not only your own kind of knowledge but your experience as well. It counts for a lot. So from Career Map, thank you to all here. As we know, this is the last day of National University Week. We have a session on at 2 o'clock around mental health, so please join that if you are available. But yes, thank you everybody and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you.